wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. Of Ukraine.
Wars have been fought over oil. In a short matter of time, they will be fought over war.
Podcast number 24. Like the year.
24.
Like the year.
Like the year?
We've been doing this podcast for 24 years already. People don't know that.
That's right. One for every time Jack Bauer saved the world from terrorism.
He did do that.
times.
My God. Man, it's crazy to me. I never watched that show, but it is crazy to me to think about like post fucking 9/11 shows, you know?
That's because like it's
God. My biggest interaction is with like the show Enterprise, right? Because that's the Star Trek from, you know, the 9/11 years. And it is very interesting to just kind of see how that's infused into what's supposed to be a post-scarcity, post-fucking, you know, conflict environment. Yeah. It's wild.
Well, terrorism has a way of sprouting up all over the galaxy, does it? Yeah,
this week they're going after Osama bin Laden. Wait, what? They're in fucking the 24th century. I don't understand.
Yeah, no, it's makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why would we ever feel like we're in the same type of hell world, you know, like the 9/11 era? You know what I'm saying? Things have been going fine, pretty swimmingly.
Pretty fine in 2024, you know. It's a banner year.
Yeah.
A lot of hope. A lot of excitement. Wow.
And change.
Change that I can believe in.
Yeah.
You know?
I believe in it.
God, man. Just quick side note or whatever. If that motherfucker just like, hey, we're going to talk more about obviously Supreme Court decision later, but idea for Biden, okay? Biden uses his now godlike power to suspend the
ability to notice that he's old.
No. To suspend the you know, stricture that says that presidents can only serve 2 terms. Then brings back Obama, 20-point landslide.
I mean,
you're welcome.
Hey,
all right.
Hey,
that man still has like a 55% favorability. All right, like
the smartest plan I've ever heard so far.
Let him back in, okay? I don't have, you know, big love for him or anything, but I know a uniter in chief when I see one. All right, just the people want him to be God King for 1,000 years. Just let it happen.
I really didn't think Biden was going to do so bad as to make me go like, yeah, bring back Obama. But like, hey, dog, here we are.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's it, huh?
Here we are.
Listen, we're gonna get into that. Before that, I'm Lucid Fox of Lucid Fox on all the places on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, all the places. You know.
That's right.
Yeah. Find me there.
It's on the duck web.
Yeah.
Marcus from Left Flank Vets on the Twitch.tv and the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And on this podcast. For now, right?
For now.
You know, everything is in
we'll
flux.
Yeah. The places will go. Maybe Marcus on Weibo as soon as next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we find you you know, peddling your wares on WhatsApp.
I mean, actually, I want to have like some type of cycle, you know, where I'm like the Temu tester, right?
Oh, okay.
And of course, things are going to be like absolutely absurd, right? But I'm going to test it out and then I'm going to sell it.
Oh,
right. I'm going to be real famous, but people are going to be like, oh, I really don't want this, like, you know, $10,000 e-bike that's actually like 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
But after Marcus wrote on it, now I'm willing to spend 15 grand. I get the content, I get the resale value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's I think 2025 is going to be a big year for me.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Now we're talking.
If we still have a country by then.
Yeah. It's going to be the most important part, I think.
No bet.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Like, you know. I think the Republic's stronger than ever. We have been going through all the democratic processes, like having a debate between the two presidential candidates just last week. And man, what a man.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you beforehand and you were like, well, you know, it's probably not going to be great. Man, if only he was just not great. That, I guess that would be one thing, you know, if only he had been just kind of a little low energy, you know, like I guess that would have
because like and to be honest with you,
yeah,
I think in like for the most part there isn't one person in any media sphere, big, little, and you know, whatever, that expected to be talking about the debate, you know, this many days out, with these consequences, and it was, I mean, because that's where it's like, it's one thing, you know, to be like, oh, the politics guy in the friend group or the family, and like, and people literally only reach out when there's like something ridiculous happening or they don't understand. And like the debate ended up being one of those times for me where it's just got like family and friends that, you know, it was like, hey man, what is
man, I mean,
what is
I don't know. Again, I'm still, listen, I want to make sure that I do this from the outset. I am still nothing ever happens camp. I don't know if this means that he's going to be ousted, but man, there's a lot of people, that are just kind of, you know,
which I think we've got a chunk of time, right? Of like immediate debate aftermath.
Yeah. The immediate
and then
stuff.
now we've got like,
well, because it lulled out, I think Sunday, Monday, where we were like, oh, okay, stand in, everybody back to, you know, normal battle stations. And now just over the course of today as well, man, it really is a crazy atmosphere right now, man. Like,
yeah. Well, and this is where I think like right after the debate, there's a lot of like punditry that was like the reaction as if like Joe Biden literally died on stage. You know, like Van Jones is there like weeping. You know,
again,
like,
we get you know, secondhand sourcing. Jane Fonda is just like sobbing, you know, watching the debate performance. Like Rob Reiner screaming at the television. It's just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. Okay. Listen, it's
even
rough being
the
Ohio
faithful
State
is
fan
shaken.
Right
like,
you know, every loss to Jim Harbaugh's Michigan, it's tough, but like, you know, I hold back the tears. Okay, and like the way these people lost it.
I think one of the most telling is actually Aaron Rupar, because he's gone from, hey, I get that he's old, to just like straight up, oh, so you guys are just fine with fascism, just winning in November, huh? You know, he's just like losing it.
Yeah. Because the thing is, and where part of the thing that I love is there are absolute people who have like supported Biden this whole time that are now getting like the Bernie bro treatment. And, you know, because like when the pod save boys,
the pod
right?
Johns,
when those guys say, hey, listen, and then you got people reacting like, how could you turn on Joe Biden like this? And it's just like, you don't get it. There's now a situation which is now like is catching up, right? Is the situation is that Biden is not a viable candidate.
Yeah.
He, you know, and that's where I think where the lull comes in is the donors trying to say, hey, what the hell is going on? And them not hearing the answer that they wanted to hear. And then now you got the polling data that's coming out, and all the things that they said Joe Biden being the best chance is now on paper incorrect and different, all because of the debate. I think about that. And I think about them literally, like, you know, Zientz having to have like calls with high profile donors
assuring them of like strategy if Biden isn't going to make it, which is telling. Like, not saying they're not giving it up, but they're saying like, hey, if for some reason he's unable, obviously the war chest goes to Kamala, just doing everything they can to reassure these fucking money people. Again, like David Remnick putting out a piece in the New Yorker, and that's your money. You know, that's the guy with all of the a connection, all of the strings around the higher like money apparatus of the Democratic Party. And this is, you know, this is a thing where when people like David Remnick start to lambast you, like, I don't care if you do or don't drop out, like, you're just not gonna fucking make it, man. Like,
well, yeah, because
like,
and that's
either way, it's bad fucking news when these guys are like, hey, you got to get out of here. Like,
because, and you know, and that's like, I am almost impressed,
yeah,
with the Biden administration and the campaign getting this far.
Sure.
You know, and that's where, like, you know, I'm a horrible bureaucracy dweeb, and I pay attention to a lot of it. And every once in a while in the press briefings, it pops up, hey, when's Joe going to get out here and answer some questions? He never answers questions. He never comes out here, right? That's been a thing. And there's a lot of, you know, really lined up interviews, or he's got the pamphlet with the journalist asking the specific questions, you know, and
he's doing a Stephanopoulos interview that's available on Friday. Isn't that enough, Marcus? He's going to get the softest softball questions you've ever seen in your life, and 30 edits to make it look like he's doing okay. All right. Yeah.
You know, but then that's the thing, is that like it definitely looks like they're trying to, you know, Weekend at Bernie's it. And they got caught like on the debate stage, because and this, you know, like I kind of do like the pollster thing where like if my parents or my brother, you know, like they call me and like I ask them questions before I give them my opinion, just because I'm curious as to like what are they thinking.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
Like all of them were like from jump, because I remember thinking myself, the first sentence out of his mouth was, I just remember thinking, oh no.
Yeah.
And it just got really, really bad for a long time.
Yeah.
And then he got pretty spry when they started talking shit about golf, you know.
Finally.
But yeah, you know, that's the thing, is that like,
you know,
and the thing is too, is like with social media, you used to maybe be able to have a bad debate and it really not go out that much farther, because if people aren't even checking into the news and all that type of stuff. But now, you know, one viral thing, and, you know, like gets picked up, and like the infinite scroll, you know, people who want to just watch sports, you know, thanks to Elon Musk, you're going to see, you know, Nazis and, you know, the fan cam of Joe Biden, you know, stuttering all the time. And it's going to look way worse than even it did on the debate stage.
You know, and you say, I mean,
that's changed things. It's literally changed things, you know, within polling overnight, you know, it takes a few days, but.
Yeah, you got people like Obama too saying like, you know, people have bad debates or whatever. And it's like, brother, be one thing if this is a bad debate, because I expected a bad debate out of Joe Biden. I didn't think he was going to do well compared to Trump. You know, I think I already thought he was less spry and less engaging. Right.
Yeah.
What I saw was pitiful. And I don't mean like in a sad way. I mean deserving of people's pity, mournful. What I watched, what transpired on Thursday night, that was a man that needs, like you said, Weekend at Bernie's, needs to be let on to sit down and just spend the last couple of years with his grandkids and shit. All right, like, what are we doing? You know, like I am not. You know,
they called in Hunter Biden to advise.
He's sitting around with them in meetings. Well,
being awake, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Because this is the thing. It was like, today, as all this hoopla of the polling, you got Clyburn saying, "Hey, I would support Kamala." That's where it's like now people are
James
saying
Carvell saying, "Hey, I think it's time to let the dog go." You know,
yeah.
And all these Democrats are like, "Oh, I never liked Carvell anyway." It's like that's very interesting.
I've I've hated that guy for a long time. Fucking, I guess that skeleton can point at the right time once, right? But it's that's where I think where a lot of people did try to shape the narrative. I mean, who was it? And God, Mika Brzezinski.
Yeah,
which Morning Joe is like, that's where it's like we got old guys, so we know what the favorite news shows are. We know Trump is watching the Fox. Yeah,
literally, and that's what I thought about how fucking embarrassing on Friday when Mika and Joe are talking about, hey.
Well, that's the thing is. First, they talk about, oh, hey, and that's where it's like, for Joe Scarborough, and once again, they speak as if like Biden, just literally died in some horrific accident on stage.
Yeah.
The American flags, they all fell on him, it was horrible. Like, I don't know but because it's, they're not actually just saying because they're not saying what is real of hey, there is a reason why this guy hasn't been answering questions his whole presidency.
Yes.
There's a reason why, there's not a, because hell, Trump says ridiculous things.
Yeah.
But he's been saying the same ridiculous things.
He's a liar.
And energetically for the whole time. He did it on the debate stage, all that.
Yeah.
There are way too many Americans who don't have any understanding of politics, and they do still go off vibes. I mean, first it was, who do you want to have a beer with? Now is, who's going to answer the phone at 3 a.m., right?
Yeah.
And right now, you've got, I don't want to have a beer with any of them, but the guy that can't pick up the phone is not who I want picking it up. And especially when it comes to this foreign policy and you think Trump was all bluster and things were more peace, the narratives that a lot of, which it's not, a majority, right? It's just that dangerous, slim narrative, especially when you've got Genocide Joe is losing out on a lot of his base and young people who actually are politically active that probably would have been helping out. Lost, gone. They sent in the cops for him.
Yeah.
The lackluster policies around student loan debt or the infrastructure, the things that are helping out with some people, but aren't really widespread enough. The fact that there is a homelessness and housing crisis that's going on, and there is not a word. Joe randomly said rent cap at the debate. Where's that at, bro?
Yeah.
Love to hear about that.
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
Could you imagine if we had campaign platform or anything like that?
Oh my God. A website with, issues and policy. That'd be fantastic. But all they got is, hey, he did this, that, and whatever. Look at the GDP. Look at the stock market. But that's what people aren't feeling it. And dog, you couldn't, you know what I'm saying? You beat Medicare, bro. You can't. The fact that he just couldn't go 90 minutes and he could have trailed off a bunch, but he got lost in the sauce, sounded like shit, and it was just all bad.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Again, it'll be one thing as me, somebody that's, online, just kind of looking at these things. I'm like, this isn't that great. But to see the reverberation through, not just Democratic media, but you've got people that are holding office, that are now starting to say, hey, I think it's time. That's, that's crazy, you got potential nominees running in Colorado. They're like, hey, I think maybe this guy needs to step down.
Yeah.
You look at
Jay Tapper was saying the governors, all the governors are trying to call Biden.
He was like,
bro, what's happening?
He was lying, Marcus. I mean, who knows? Like, who pressed him to pull that or anything like that? But
well, I think CNN's still going to run the story, but it maybe is just not as
salacious.
But because that's where it's like like the Pod Save America guys, they had to delete tweets that were too honest.
Yes.
And the thing is, and that's what's it's obviously not MAGA.
Called an all hands tomorrow morning as well. So
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's just in preparation for July 4th. Who knows?
Yeah, it's not MAGA cult level, obviously, but there is that same thing. And the thing is too, what's they're trying to do with Kamala. Yeah. I'm somewhat happy that Kamala's polling still beating Joe Biden or beating Trump.
Listen, that's kind of
ahead of Joe Biden. In some levels, just oh my god, because that's where to have fed if they can't do some type of secession, it's going to continue pissing off people, but only at the margins. I really don't know how many people are going to care, because at that point, oh, you pass over, black woman or whatever, I don't know how much any of that matters, especially if the other option is, you got a half corpse that you're trying to put up there, but at that point, almost any replacement is just going to be fine.
And I think I think Kamala, to be clear, I think Kamala being within margin of error for their internal polling, within margin of error of Biden's numbers right now, is crazy, for somebody that hasn't the only proximity she has, and you can say well, she's vice president right now, but she's not getting public spots right now. She's not getting pushed by any advertising or anything like that. I think she'd easily, pull numbers past. I mean, his internal polling's dog shit right now. Literally anybody, looking at that specifically that Puck put out today. Yeah, my God, man.
Colorado's in play for the Republicans. if Biden
Virginia, New Hampshire. He won New Hampshire by almost double digits, man. I don't know.
That's
what
where it's New Hampshire. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no,
Maine,
sure, but that's just a fucking bellwether for how poorly this guy is doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Minnesota in play. I mean, that's where it's he was leading in Colorado, but it was 2 points was the internal polling after the debate. And it's you can't, I don't know, the Democrat, it's.
Yeah.
Democrats, man.
We'll see how much they want to goddamn win, My thing is you're telling me there's two ways, and I guess this will lead us into another discussion. There's two ways that you end up winning here in November, the way that I see it, without a doubt. And that is, one, you replace this fucking guy, okay? Because if Trump's that bad, then he's got to go. All right? Yeah.
Simple as that.
He's got to go. You have to recognize, you have to realize now, when we're looking at these new polls that just came out today from CNN, and Kamala is beating him roundly,
mm-hmm.
And even other people that they've looked at, like Newsom, Buttigieg, are within.
I think Klob's got some numbers. I think there's some Klobmentum.
So again, that's the first choice, is you replace him because you have to fucking win against, the rising tide of fascism. Or the second choice is he gets to stay in, but and it was declared yesterday by the Supreme Court that he's allowed to if it's an official act,
official
or
act.
He fucking Donald Trump, that's the two options, right? You put somebody in there that can beat him legitimately, or use your newfound God King power that's been proffered to you by this illegitimate institution that is the Supreme Court, and command some fucking higher ranking seal to him right in the, That's it.
You know,
that's your two choices.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, you just want to fucking draw it out and maybe lose the popular vote and maybe win enough electoral votes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, that's the thing is where it's like, if Nikki Haley comes up as the nominee, it's over no matter who the Democrats.
Oh, sure.
Up.
Yeah.
So that's where those, like, the Democrats need Trump.
Yeah.
They need his
you're against
right
the dog shit guy right now. So, like,
that's what's
make
crazy.
the best of it, all right?
Yeah. But, no, and that's where I've been saying it. They should have done it earlier, you know, but at the end of the day, Jay Billions, JP Pritzker, Big Gretsch, you know, like, I honestly, I think that those two would probably do pretty well.
Yeah.
I think that most people, you know, and that's where the thing is too, where it's like, it would actually have to be paired with some real, you know, policy things that can be done, you know, through executive shit. Like, we don't care what the Congress is doing. We're going to be working on these issues, bing, bing, bing. Yeah. And just using like their own states as, you know, kind of backing. Honestly, I don't know where Stacey Abrams went, but I think the Democrats really, really messed up. Yeah. You know, and that's where it's like, Stacey Abrams was the right black woman. You know, when he's like, oh, I'm just going to pick a black woman. Stacey Abrams was the choice that would have actually, you know, given you some longevity in Georgia that you would have been able to really try and spread over to North Carolina, because North Carolina is like on the verge, like the way like Raleigh has been changing over the past like few years. Yeah. And these Democrats just, I mean, you wanted to give it up to Clyburn instead, you know, they were just wanted to, and like that, like, oh, hey, South Carolina gets to choose. And it's like, well, why are they, you know, like, when's the last time South Carolina voted Democrat? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was when, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Well.
But, yeah.
Back to the God King thing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But but what, I mean, this is where the thing is too, is now that Joe Biden has God King powers.
Yes.
Okay. What could he do? This was like, what could Joe Biden do with these new powers, brand new powers? Okay. So round up all the MAGA people and put them in an internment camp.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Right? All right.
Because like just now a president could get away with that, right? He could have his FBI infiltrate some of the right-wing groups, right? Maybe try and convince people to, you know, try and commit suicide or whatever. Maybe just pay people off to murder some people, right? You could do that, totally get away with it, no problem. Just now, after the court decision, you could deal, you know, get with gangs, trade some guns for some money in order to fund, you know, I don't know, just like some type of internal, you know, MAGA extreme, you know, just now. That's a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, the Supreme Court decision is largely just, hey, Trump, you get out of jail free card. And it more of it just puts on paper that, like, oh, hey, it really doesn't matter if the presidents do the things that they have been doing, like drone striking, you know, American citizens. So that's where it's just like, this does, I think, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I think liberals are responding to it of like, oh, hey, the president is now allowed to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, which is crazy, man. Again, these are the same people that have been on Trump's ass for years. They're just like, hey, did you see the documents at Mar-a-Lago? And now, all of a sudden, every fucking resistance lib you know is just like, I don't know, fucking get in there, all right? What are we doing? We should fucking Trump yesterday. What's happening, Mr. Biden?
Yeah, and that's where the thing is. Like, he could have on day one started appointing more, not just new, just more Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing where it's just like, he doesn't need to send in SEAL Team 6 to fuck with the Supreme Court. It's already able to do so. And that's where too, it's like, at the very least, threaten it. Because he did this, we're going to have a committee to devise things that could be done. And like in the past few years, story after story after the billions of dollars that's going all the Clarence Thomas and Alito and all the pictures. And like they've sat by and watched it all happen. Joe Biden has always had the power to do something. He always has. And he hasn't done it. And this new Supreme Court decision, like, hey, yeah, Joe Biden, he could do the funniest fucking thing, but he wouldn't because he wouldn't do the rational thing.
He believes in these he doesn't believe in these institutions. I think that's not strong enough. He worships these institutions, you know? He loves the idea of the institution of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And he would never do anything to change. He said as much. He directly said as much when asked if he would expand the court. It's like, I don't want to make it political. Brother,
hey.
It is 6-3. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It is political.
Lost that game.
Yeah, you lost that game. You know? And what's crazy to me, you know, we're going to talk about both of the wildest Supreme Court decisions today, but like what's crazy to me is that like outside of Biden, you quite literally have another thing that I found surprising over the past couple of days is not just the fervency with which people and social media and legacy media have been willing to call out Joe Biden and say maybe you should resign, but also the amount of like resistance libs that are now just eating their own fucking hat and saying, I'll say it. RGB maybe should have resigned.
Oh my!
And I'm like, or RBG, and I'm just like, hey, I was just here saying it, you know,
I was just
a decade ago, but whatever you want.
A few years, but welcome to the club.
Well, man, here we are, huh? We circled around
into the I hate old women who have survived cancer treatments 3 times already club.
God
welcome on in.
You know, I'm sorry. Seeing like people like Stephen King saying, hey, maybe we need, even Stephen King is just like, maybe we need to have an honest conversation about how she contributed to
a lot about dead things. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not write this horror story, Democrats. Wink, wink. It's a little Stephen King joke for you. You're killing us all.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's where, oh my God, I don't know. You know, this country's ass. It's been ass, you know, like, and that's where the thing is, like, the only way that I can actually rationalize it is just so much going back to where it began, you know, and, you know, this is where I completely lose my friends and family in the discussion where it's just like, this is more true to America than we've allowed ourselves to really, you know, to realize, you know, and this idea of like freedom and democracy and all that type of stuff. I mean, we just got choices, ranch dressing, and that's about it. You know, like at the end of the day, these freedoms that people talk about, like they don't exist in reality. You know, they don't actually exist when you're pushed up against it. And like college students across this nation realized how much speech you can have.
Yes.
You know, people in like even going, you know, it's like these, and it's been building, right? Because like, you know, George Floyd, like it can't be denied that, you know, because like when people talk about a 2-tier justice system, just now, I mean, like we see, you know, like, and so, yeah, you know, and that's where too, it's like people understand that the Iraq war was wrong, but they don't actually internalize how wrong. What did Cheney and Bush and Rumsfeld and Colin, like what they actually got away with?
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it is frustrating for me to see people like, oh, this Supreme Court, oh, like, like it's frustrating, but like I'm hoping that it's like, please, like, let the veil drop. Please see this country for what it is.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you talk about the framers, you're talking about slavers.
Yes. Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Like, it's been real hell for me too. Is yes, obviously, just talking about like whatever fucking originalist conception you got for things. Mm-hmm. And then there's also a lot of people that I've seen. I mean, Biden does it in the same speech last night that he said, I will do nothing fundamentally different to use these newfound powers to that the Republicans absolutely will use, by the way. Yes. I will do nothing of the sort because this is decorum still for Democrats. And it's like, so you're a fucking loser is what you're telling me. All right. So you're a loser then. But what's wild to me is he ended it with I dissent. And again, I can't tell you how much a fucking loser statement that is. All right. I dissent is fundamentally the echoes of the losing side.
Yeah.
All right. The amount of resistance libs that I've seen posting I dissent stories and shit on TikTok and Instagram over the weekend. That's loser shit. All right. They are losers. Yeah. This myth making that was created for RBG with this, I dissent. No one fucking cares. Dissenting doesn't do anything. It doesn't fucking form law. It doesn't codify any. It's nothing. It is the death wails of a fucking loser.
It's like, I mean, like, I love it because, like, that's it, right?
Like nothing about that means anything.
I dissent in the court system means I lost. Yes. I am the fucking loser. And this is where it's just like the Democrats really never had a chance.
Yeah.
They really didn't. Because then at the end of the day, too, it's like they would be way better if because like that's where too is that like part of me does feel bad for the pod Johns. Yeah.
Sure.
Part of me does feel bad for them because at the end of the day, they were the best thing for the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party kicked them the fuck out. Why? Because they were good at winning, and part of that winning was beating Hillary.
Yes.
And I mean, like, and I just don't think, like, really, it's like there's a lot of people in the party that ended up respecting them. But, like, at this point in time, you got to listen to your winners. You listen to, like, that's where it's like Claire McCaskill isn't going to tell you how to win. Why? She's a loser.
Yes.
She's a loser.
All these people, Democrats love losers for some reason, but all these people, Hillary Clinton, they're all fucking losers. All right?
The Jamie Harrison something.
Yeah.
He's the guy that lost to Lindsey Graham.
Yes.
It's like, stop hiring losers.
Yes.
It's so, because like, and that's where too is like, once again, and it comes back to Stacey Abrams. Yeah. I mean, like, where I understand that she lost the governorship, but like, that was probably the closest thing to a stolen election we've actually seen since Bush v. Gore.
I don't disagree.
Right? Yeah. Worth looking into, not definitive. But the thing is too, is like, she actually does know how to win.
Sure.
She knows how to win. And the Democratic Party, they cut out anyone that actually knows how to win. You chose Kamala Harris. She couldn't win a delegate, let alone a state in the primary.
Oh, you're talking about like picking her as the VP over. Yeah, it's crazy. Like that's
you're picking losers.
Yeah. Yeah. Now again, I would say Kamala Harris meets the current fascistic moment of the United States. You put her out, you start fucking running ads about how she used to be a cop. Man, people slop that shit up,
Well, and that's where it's like, cop stuff, and crime. That's where, she could have some inroads, or at least not lose out, right, on any type of Democrat, liberal, whatever the hell, right?
Yeah. You won't believe how many people I actually
one thing you know, it's not only that she could actually string two sentences together, but she could put the word abortion, right, in one of those sentences.
Absolutely,
she can actually. I mean, and she's a very bad retail politician, but at the end of the day, you don't have to be a good one. At this point, you've got Trump, and then so it's like you don't really have to be that good.
Yeah, it ain't difficult. You just fucking get anybody out there, really.
But yeah, at the end, and I are we having fun yet?
Had a good time, I think. I think it's looking good.
Because actually, like, I think the thing to care about, right? Because, and that's where, like, just even with the last thing with the whole immunity thing is that, like, I really don't think it makes too much of a difference. I think that the president could do largely whatever the hell that they wanted already.
Yes, absolutely.
But this was specifically, was for the Trump cases. And I mean, I don't even think we mentioned that, like, the New York case, they're postponing the sentencing
till September 19th, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So, which, and that's the thing is, like, for now, think about his immunity. Yeah. If there's some type of legal, whatever the hell, but at the end of the day, it already worked. It took a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I said this too, it's the least surprising thing because, again, Matt Christmas said this before, like, we put these guys in office. On day one, we say, you are going to do a non-zero amount of war crimes over the next 4 years. All right. You are going to be a monster. All of you, every single one of you that sit in this office, we are asking them to be monsters for 4 to 8 years. Why would you ever imagine that at the end of all that, they should be held accountable for these things? I mean, yeah, sure, if you're a normal fucking human being, you should imagine those things, but we don't live within that realm, We live in a realm where these people are put upon, like, nigh godhood. They were viewed as perfect, like, fucking beings.
That's where, because with the Trump lawyers, and they keep bringing up the example, I mentioned earlier, right, of drone striking an American citizen, right, and that's where it's like they use that example as this extrajudicial killing, right? They use that example to say, obviously, we need immunity.
Yeah,
and then, but the thing is too, where it's just like there's really not enough people saying, hey, maybe drone striking the American citizen was bad and Obama should actually be held accountable for it.
Yes.
Maybe presidents should fear murdering people.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Maybe,
that's like,
listen, I've got the best idea out there, honestly, for this discussion. Maybe as soon as you leave office, you immediately get put in the oubliette. Sorry, you served the country. You were a public fucking, wonder. You did all the things necessary for the country, but also you, as all the came before, you have to go to the oubliette afterwards for, your immense crimes against humanity.
I mean,
we just stop doing them. One of the two, whichever one you want.
Really, I think we can make a fair deal.
Yeah.
Okay. If we still have 800 military bases by the time you're done as president, you get,
Yeah. You're down in the forever dark. Sorry.
The thing is, you obviously did war crimes.
Yep.
You obviously did. There's black sites that are still there.
Yep. What do you think we're doing in AFRICOM and everything out there still, man?
Yeah.
Why do we have any presence in Chad whatsoever? Like, sorry.
Yeah, but where there actually is a problem, aside from presidents having carte blanche to genocide and murder and prison, assassinate, aside from that now legal thing, for the first time. Chevron. Well,
there's also the Chevron decision, huh?
It's Chevron and like the the homelessness, like criminalization.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We really, man, what a bad fucking run for Supreme Court, huh? Literally criminalizing homelessness and also, enabling, whatever powers the president would like to indulge in. Like, we're following in the footsteps of greatness. A lot of other, there's only one real country that really got into that in a really heavy fashion, huh? I wonder what it's called.
The thing is, like, wild is that, like, somehow the president has indiscriminate power, but like only as they could direct another person to do one thing. As soon as, let's say they say EPA, make sure that this water is safe. Yeah. And I mean, who's to say what that means? Yeah. Man. You're going to need someone to figure out how many microplastics and forever chemicals and then once you figure out what's in the water, then you figure out how to get it out.
Yeah.
And there's a myriad of ways, but literally, unless a president tells like someone to just murder the person. Now, wait a minute here. Did I just come on? Okay. But either way, unless he tells a military personnel to kill the person that's poisoning it, he can't tell the EPA to regulate. The Congress can't tell the EPA to regulate, right? And that's the whole thing with Chevron, is just saying like, well, if it's not explicitly a law, these federal agencies aren't allowed to do what they've been legally authorized to do, which is to study and come to the conclusions and then try and hold corporations to those findings to ensure that things are safe. And like, that's the thing is too, where it's like, I mean, hell, we can look around the United States. We need a lot more EPA, not less.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's what I think about, with regards to, I mean, hey man, I don't want to get crazy doing it here. We're already talking about politics, but there's now scientific discussion, initial consensus that we're going to experience like widespread, like, famine in the next like couple of decades. And it's like, hey man, I don't think it's a good look when we're removing like environmental regulation in the face of that. Right? Like, we're like, oh, well, I guess what we should do then is make things even fucking worse, right?
I can't tell you how much, like, when I first watched Idiocracy, I was like, this movie's dumb.
Yeah.
And now I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in the dumb movie, right? But it's like the onion, you know what I'm saying? We live in this world that's just so absurd. It's hard to believe how demonic some of this shit is going on. And like, yeah, when you talk about like the idea, liberals get it, please. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I've been called a Bernie bro and a dirty commie and all of these things. And I hate America. Right. Yeah. But like you now hate America too, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Like, maybe let's do something. Maybe demand something of the people. Like really too, because like it's just like, will you at least start demanding real things from the people that you lift up? Will you at least like what are these Supreme Court justices? Why does it take AOC to say, I'm going to come up with do impeachment?
Yeah.
Like why can't the old people do anything at any point in time when things seem to be really bad? Why is it always just, no, we're just going to keep doing what we always do?
Yeah, man. I mean, why does it take, I don't know. I think about that too with the AOC like impeachment thing. It's just like, why haven't we done anything up to this point to just, I don't know, not even pack the court, but I mean, I go back to like.
Pack the court!
But I'm saying like, sure, pack the court was like an alternative that was proposed by by FDR back in the 30s. But before that, I mean, Eugene Debs' platform is just like, these people should be elected and subject to recall. Yeah,
everyone should.
Absolutely. Yes. 100%. Why are we still in this place where they have unlimited power and are subject to no recourse and can only leave upon their own volition?
And it is like, even just off of like, really too, because like, sanitize the politics.
Yeah.
If you thought of this as a bureaucrat, just the expansion of the population,
yeah,
deems that you would need more people to deal with, the like, just the running of the system.
Yes.
Whether it's, you're going to need more people picking up the garbage, you're going to need more nurses, you're going to need more janitors, more teachers, and more judges. And you see that in every other part of the court except, once it whittles down, because it's a lot more, it's a lot easier to say, hey, we've got this many people, you need this many, filling these seats and all these types of stuff. It's easier on the local and it gets harder and harder and harder. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
like, we're dealing with 9 people who, and at this point too, it's like they just pick and choose all the things that they're wanting, all the things that Leonard Leo seems to get a benefit from, or all the things that the, Christian fundamentalists have been working towards, for decades now.
Yeah.
And, the Democrats just been sitting there. And to this day, that's the thing too, is that the fact that they're still saying extreme MAGA Republicans, how is Sam Alito a extreme MAGA Republican? Explain that to me.
Yeah.
How is the dude that Joe Biden helped put on the court when he was a senator? How is Clarence Thomas extreme MAGA Republican? I mean, I know that but like, this is
these guys
party,
are conservatives.
dog.
This is just the conservative party. This is what they've been saying. I saw something. I'm trying to remember exactly what they said, but the other day, they were talking about, it was post discussion of, the presidents are kings now fucking case. And somebody was just like, well, MAGA Republicans like Trump are gonna, abuse this. And it's like, just conservatives, brother. That's it. You don't have to say MAGA Republicans. Conservatives writ large. You think, like, I'm sorry, like, but shut the fuck up for a second with all that. You think some moderate ass, like, Mitt Romney wouldn't come in and also just fucking abuse this? Come on. That's it. Yeah. That is the party. That is they've been telling you, like Project 2025, like these are not MAGA within the Heritage Foundation. Yeah. The Heritage Foundation is a think tank that exists out of the ideation of the Republican Party. All right? They have thought that. They are setting that up no matter who is going to be president now or in the future for the Conservative Party. That is their plan.
The fact that
they have always been that way.
Yeah, because the thing is too, it's like you got the Heritage Foundation that hands over to Trump a curated list of Federalist Society judges.
Yes,
we've known. It's already been known.
Yeah,
like and that's like, it's just the fact that they just kind of sit by and, we need the party back, and vote,
brother,
vote. But that's where too. It's like,
this is the party of Reagan.
Obama had a super majority, and then the excuses come as soon as you bring that up. Joe Biden, right? And that's where too is like, hey, dog, that's your boy Joe Manchin, not mine. Yeah. That's your girl Kristen Sinema, not mine. And you hugged up on him, right? And that's where too is like, Pramila Jayapal worked her ass off to actually have something tangible, like keeping the child tax credit. And Biden just said, hands off, whatever comes to my desk comes to my desk.
Yeah.
getting more money for actual better infrastructure plan, more money for actual like rail, and more money for, converting fucking buses to electric, but everything that, would actually be helpful. Home care, support for home health care. All of this just disappears. Right? Manchin and Cinema just cutting, slashing, and burning, and Biden doesn't say a word. Hey, maybe he couldn't.
Letting it happen. Yeah.
Maybe he had no idea what was even going on. And they're just, now I don't even know. But at the end of the day, Democrats, you made this bet. You keep choosing losers. You keep cozying up to people who if we're not nice to Joe Manchin. And like, that's the thing where it's like, you don't know how good you would have had it if you would have been mean.
Yeah.
To his
ass. Right. This guy was always going to be the fucking scorpion that he is now. All right. At least you kicked his ass off like halfway through the fucking river ride, or maybe before.
Because the thing is, if you can't trade, that's where it's like they couldn't trade Joe Manchin for, I can't think of old boy's name, but Johnson in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And he came real close, but the Democrats never even helped him out.
Yeah.
Right? This is where it's just like, you could say, damn a Manchin. And that's where, too, is like, you burn his ass to the ground. And then you get an actual, somebody who can replace Ron Johnson. No, fuck that. Oh, where? Doesn't matter. Right? And so losers. Okay. Losers.
Yeah.
Speaking of losers.
Speaking of losers. Rudy Giuliani. Man. Fall from grace. Once America's mayor, and now disbarred for practicing law. Can't believe it's really a ceremonial thing. It's not even like, what was he doing? What was he still fucking? Who was he still a lawyer for, man?
Himself, I think.
Right.
He's the only lawyer he can afford at this point.
God, man, like, okay,
yeah,
it's very funny.
What an awful human. And like, the thing is too, where it's just
what a dumb piece of shit.
Even with all of like the propaganda, like positive propaganda he got from, being America's mayor, like he still couldn't last 2 weeks in the primary because everybody legit hates him. And this is what's like one of these other like kind of things where it's just like, I don't want to I'm going to do it. All right. I don't want to, but I have to. Okay. It is kind of like Trump is really with the basket of deplorables, and even within the Republican Party.
Yeah.
It's just like the people everybody else really hates, and like some of it might be because they're actually like virulent racist. Others might be because they're like womanizing pieces of shit just openly and like outwardly. Or because they're just really shitty criminals,
Yeah.
Like some of them are just, you're not a good enough criminal. You can't shut the fuck up, but at the end of the day, yeah. Like the Rudy and Roger Stone. The rest of these are
amazing. Yeah.
It's really wild. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Rudy.
But dumb it. Like, this is it. These are the people that we're just kind of given carte blanche during the Trump administration. They're fools. They're not even,
Oh, damn.
It's a basket of fucking weirdos, and this is enough to just beat the Democratic Party, huh? Like,
yeah, shit. Which
crazy.
I'm just randomly bringing this up, because but Steve Bannon went to prison. It was today or yesterday, whatever.
Yeah.
He did 2 interviews.
Yeah.
And it's I was like, because like that's where like when you like get getting really the Weimar Republic vibes, and you have got so many of these institutions that keep playing the card that these people are viable interlocutors with our society, and the more you do that, the more people think these fascists are viable interlocutors with the country, for our system. And that goes to Hakeem Jeffries letting Mike Johnson off the hook. You should have let MTG get that ass, because
absolutely,
I keep saying it, because as long as he's the Speaker of the House during the election, we already know what we come on, right? We know what's going to happen. He's going to be playing fuck games.
Yes.
And
these people are monsters. Just allow them. I don't know. Again, it just speaks to our understanding of history. You and I, we realize what liberals are going to be bound to do. They've done it before. They're going to do it again. They will bow to fascism at the end of the day. That's just their thing. Yeah. We're going to witness it in France over the next couple of fucking weeks. Macron is positioned right now to support Mélenchon.
I hate that I can, I hate that I could see him, them two just hugging it out.
Yes. Well, because at the end of the day, Macron is going to say to himself, well, it's better for the public to have a conservative for 4 years. That way they can realize what they're missing in us. All right. And that's the same thing that is going to happen here. That is the same thing that's going to happen in fucking Britain. The Labour Party is going to come into power, and the other step of that is the Labour Party is going to come into power, and Keir Starmer will functionally not be different from David Cameron. Man, he will just be a fucking conservative.
He might not be too different than what's their name.
What, Rishi Sunak?
The lettuce lady.
yeah.
Because that's where it's Liz, the more I hear Keir Starmer talk, it's because he can't handle.
Yeah,
I don't think Truss. Yeah, Liz Truss. I don't think Keir Starmer can handle any type of pressure.
No.
Once the spotlight gets on his ass, he might melt. But we'll see with them. But again,
this is how liberalism works. This is why we have, why we talk about things like the ratchet effect as well. They will just try, instead of forcing out, forcefully, instead of seeing a Biden, Hakeem Jeffrey, all these people just doing a clean sweep and saying, no, fuck these people, we'll get them out by any means necessary. They're poisoning our democracy. Instead of doing any of that, they'll just say, well, what, he's perfect,
They say it, and then they say extreme MAGA Republicans, and then they don't do anything.
Right. At the end of the day, we got to come together and sit down and make some decisions. Okay.
How much my phone has been blown up from campaigns I never gave my fucking number to.
Yeah.
It has been really fucked up.
Listen.
I can't have 10 minutes of peace.
Yeah. I respond to every one of them too. I got one the other day that was just Joe Biden's losing this fight. The polls aren't looking great. If he can count on $27 from you, I was like, got to do something to earn that money then.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. I better really make it worth my while then. He's not doing it right now. Maybe you can talk to him for me.
Have Joe Biden speak for 27 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll give him $1 for every minute he makes.
You got to figure that out for me. All right. We'll get this thing together.
And I'll say this too, right? Because at the end of the day, and I think we say this a lot, where it's it doesn't, at this point, if you think voting is going to fix anything, you really gotta just take another lap of what's happened over the past decade in this country. Mm-hmm. The times the Democrats have had power.
Again, that's what I'm saying. If they don't have the political will to defeat these things, then why should? I've been given no evidence to the contrary that they've ever cared about Roe versus Wade besides campaigning on it. None. Not at one point when they've had power, or even supermajority of power. Have they ever done anything to protect it? So why should I think
Roe
now?
Wade in the first trimesters between the woman and the doctor, and the second trimesters between
Why should I think if we magically give Biden a supermajority that just does not exist, is not in the cards for the next like fucking 8 years or 4 years for not for the next 8 years really, but definitely for the not for the next 4 years in the Senate? Why am I supposed to believe he's going to bring it back finally?
And that's
like we're just like, lying. You're telling me about like the other guy lying on the debate stage. You're lying. There's no way that you bring back Roe versus Wade unless you sit down, you look at Dick Durbin, you say, hey, I want you to shoot anybody in the face that disagrees with the idea that we're going to be destroying the filibuster today. All right?
I mean, that's like, out. Yeah. I mean, that's what the thing is too, where it's just like, I mean, and that's where it's just like, you can let everybody, if you get 50, especially like right now, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like filibuster's gone, simple majority from now on.
Do your thing. Because at the end of the day, though, it's just like, it's like either because like the idea, threat to democracy, like,
then win. Then goddamn win more, and then it won't be a threat to democracy.
Yeah, like, so you got to do something. And like when they keep saying vote, oh my God, it's so frustrating.
You're the best party, then you should just be winning because you're the best party. You're doing the best things for people. Should be easy for you to just simple majority rule shit.
Which, I mean, with Oblivion coup.
Yeah.
Imagine January 6th. They say, hey, Lucid, they're coming for us. Will you come protect us?
Yeah.
Because the Bolivian people did that against a military coup.
They literally, immediately, they were like, general strike against the coup. Done.
I sat on my ass and laughed watching January 6th.
Yeah.
And, maybe
those people want to protect the things that they got. All right.
Yeah. Because if there were people working for me, I'm on the metro. I'm there. I'm what I'm saying? I'm going to help out because this is the government that I rely on. This is the system I rely on. Yeah. No one's saving your ass. No one's coming out here. They're just, a few people
I'm sitting around dreaming on fucking, the internet. Like, what country has universal health care? I'm sorry. They bought no fealty from me, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Man.
Yeah. Although, this world, man, it's
pretty cool. But, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so it goes. What's your silver lining, Marcus? Listen, there's got to be something to look forward to.
Us there.
4th of July. You can watch some fireworks on Thursday.
I mean, I think oh my God. What am I looking forward to? I have no idea, man. I just know that there's a lot of shit going on. NATO summit.
Yeah.
Bibi Netanyahu coming in a few weeks.
Yeah. A lot of things coming up, We're going to be Chicago in like a month. That's exciting. That's silver lining.
Yeah. DNC. Yeah. Oh my God.
Just 6 short weeks and we'll be there.
It's hard thinking about it like that.
It's crazy. The
DNC, I guess that's going to probably be the answer from here on out.
Yeah.
Because every day the DNC,
every day we could grow closer to it. Yeah,
more and more interesting as this whole thing plays out.
God, I hope there's some banger speeches out there. Man, I hope it's fun. I hope it's fun.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, you give me something to look forward to that's actually like fun to do or something.
I'm watching SGDQ right now. That's pretty cool. They're raising money for MSF.
Oh
actually,
the speed gamer.
They do a week-long speed running twice a year. The winter time they do it for Cancer Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite is the summer where they do it for Doctors Without Borders. And they have been very clear on stage when they bring on people that work with MSF. They're like, hey, we're out there right now. We're not getting enough care to the Palestinian people. We need to get more. We need more, we need more availability from certain administrations to be able to help these people. Like it has been very heartwarming to see, how pro-Palestine, like the entire chat's been, how supportive everybody has been through the event. So that's pretty cool. That's a silver lining in the week.
Yeah.
It's going to watch that happen all week. It's going to be great.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Well, dope.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week for, at least rough past week for gamers. So, it's good that, some beneficial will come to the platform.
A lot of bad things happening there. Yeah.
But yeah. I guess too, it's like there was another State Department, but another Biden official had left because of, because of the genocide. And I think honestly, I think it's because of the debate, right? Sure. The less lucid Biden looks, the more complicit the staff is. Okay.
And, something to think about. Just like, and the lens, I don't know, like you think about how it looks on your resume at this point, you're just like, don't be connected to this administration at the end at all. I don't know.
It's not looking great.
Not looking great. Oh, you were part of the Weekend at Bernie's administration. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
You brought in the Trump Bergen empire, huh? Nice.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. my wife was in Wyoming when they nuked it. You remember?
You were part of the Bergen-Bentham, huh?
Oh, man.
Well.
Yeah. God.
Can't wait. Better every week.
Next week will be post July 4th. Maybe we will be looking at Biden resigning and handing the reins over to Hunter. Who knows?
Hey, Hunter's in the room.
Hunter's in the room now, all right?
Let's go.
Dogs on display. We'll be back next week for 25. My God.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of a century that we'll have been podcasting at this point.
Cheaper car insurance. Let's not forget to fill out that paperwork.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Hit the bells, subscribe, do all that stuff. We'll be back next week.
Peace.